be learning how to make these super easy crochet hearts. They make a great gift, they make good hairpins, they make great needle cushions. I'll show you out at the end of the video. So to start making your crochet heart, your Valentine's Day heart, put the tail of yarn over your hand. I'm just using a scrap. You don't need very much for these hearts, so it's a good scrap buster. I put the tail over my hand to make a magic ring. I hold it down on my ring finger with my thumb. Wrap it around 2 fingers, making an X. Wrap it around 3 fingers, holding loosely. For this heart, I'm going to be using a 4mm, but depending what size heart you want to make, you just adjust your hook. The stitches remain exactly the same. Smaller hook, smaller heart. Bigger hook, bigger heart. So you can just make a whole bunch with just changing your hook. So this one I'm using a 4mm. So flip your hand over, put your hook side down underneath the short strand, grab the long strand and bring it through. Point the hook towards yourself, point the hook away from yourself to make that twist on your hook. Release your tension a bit, grab the long strand and bring it through the loop on your hook. Straighten out your tail so it's not twisted, and you're going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. Wrap your yarn twice, put it into the center of your ring, holding your tail with your ring, grabbing the yarn, bringing it back, wrapping your yarn and taking off 2, wrapping your yarn and taking off 2, and wrapping your yarn and taking off 2. We're going to do that a total of 3 times. So that was 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to make 3 double crochets. So that's wrap your yarn once, put it through, grab your yarn, bring it back, wrap your yarn, take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. So we're going to do 3 of those in total. So this is my second one, and here is my third one. So that is one side of your heart. Now we're going to do the bottom part, which is a treble. So wrap your yarn twice, put it through, grab your yarn, bring it back, wrap your yarn, take off 2, wrap your yarn, take off 2, wrap your yarn, take off 2. So that makes the point of our heart at the bottom. And now we're going to do the exact same thing in the opposite order, going back on the other side. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and 3 treble crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and then our chain 3 that we started with. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to slip stitch to our magic ring. So put your hook through, grab your yarn, bring it back, and pull it through the loop on your hook. So you're just left with 1. Now pull your tail from your magic ring, nice and snug. You almost want to break your yarn, but obviously not, but you really want to close that hole in the center. So give it a good tug. Okay. Now we're going to cut our yarn. I leave about a 2-inch piece of yarn, just so I'm just going to knot it. If you are doing, if you're going to use this as an applique, you can leave a longer tail and use this tail to stitch the heart onto whatever project you're doing. But for me, I'm just making little Valentine's heart. I cut my yarn about 2 inches, and I'm just going to pull it through the loop I have on my hook, like by doing a chain 1. And I pull it down. I flip my heart over. I'm going to shut that hole a bit. It's kind of opened up, hasn't it? There we go. That really went in there. Okay. Now, my center of my heart is closed. I flip it over, and I'm going to knot my yarn, but I'm going to knot it as close to the center as I can. So I'm not going to knot it with my knot at the top. I'm going to hold my yarn that's closest to the center, and I'm going to make my knot right on top of that one. So I'm pulling this top yarn down towards the center. So I will be knotting over there, and I pull it tight, and I do it again for a double knot. Like that. Pull your yarn. So that is knotted. Now take your scissors, and I just cut, hold the heart away from you, and you see where I'm going to cut is just there. I cut quite close. And then open up your heart so it's nice, lay it down flat, and you can see at the back, you can obviously weave in your tails if it's you know, more of a keepsake you're making, but if you're just making Valentines to give away at school or put on top of cupcakes or put on hair ties, I'm fine with that knot, but it's personal preference, whatever you like to do. So then what I do, if I'm making a hair tie, is I take my bobby pin and I put the short side, the side with a little kink, into a few of the stitches. So I do some stitches at the top, or some threads of yarn really, and I do some more towards the bottom, whatever I can pick up, and then push it through. And then that can either be a little bookmark, you can just put it over your page, or you can put it in your hair or your daughter's hair. It's pretty cute. So we do that, and I also use them mostly for my darning needles. I just make a bunch of hearts and I have a bunch of needles, and I keep them all with my darning needles inside. Then when I need a darning needle, I don't have to look for a darning needle, I just look for a heart, and I know there's a darning needle stuck in it. So these are my darning needles, and this one here that I made into a hair clip, this is with a 4mm hook, and this is with the 6mm hook. So you can see just by changing the hook size, you change the size of your heart. So you can do a whole bunch of different sizes using a whole bunch of your different hooks and have a whole bunch of cute little hearts. So I hope that gave you some ideas for Valentine's Day and making hearts in general. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Please share with your friends. And thanks for watching. Stay hooked.